everyone. So this is the craft for today. This is welcome to back to Get Your Play Online, and I'm Hannah. And today is outdoor art, and we will be making this fun circus clown for the Circus Week theme. So this should take about 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes, depending on how long and how creative you want to get with it. But this is what the final product looks like. And let me first tell you what you will need. So since this is outdoor art, I decided to gather all of the things that I would need and put it in this tray so that I can have it all organized and outside. So the first thing that you will need is paper towels to put onto your surface that you're using, and that will just be sure to keep it clean since we're using paint and other things like glue, so it could get a little bit messy. So we just want to make sure we have a nice clean surface to work with. So that's the first thing you need is paper towel. The next thing that you'll need is paint. So you'll definitely need white paint, and then you can choose from any other colors you wish. So I brought out blue, pink, purple, orange, yellow, green, any colors that you want to use on your clown. And in addition to that, you'll need a few different paint brushes to use. So I just have a couple. And then we will be painting onto either a paint stir stick. So you might have these lying around in your house, but they're used to stir paint, and they make a really good base for the clown. If you do not have those, you may have smaller sized popsicle sticks on hand, and you can use those as well. So this will just be a little bit smaller of a puppet compared to the bigger paint sticks, but either work just fine. So then the next thing you'll need is just your assortment of different decorations that you'll use. So some things that I brought out were some pom-poms, some buttons. I used both pom-poms and buttons on the example that I did. And also Googly Eyes, I brought those out. However, you can just use, I also have a black pen or marker that will work just as fine for the eyes. So you can either draw on the eyes or you can use Googly Eyes. And then some other things I brought out were some glittery little buttons and different shapes. This one has a star, flowers, something like that. So these are just glittery little, dropped one. But you can use pretty much anything you want. I also have these stickers that I brought out that are little gems, which I might use for the one that we're doing today. And then the last thing that you'll need, and this is something that I would advise having if you can, is different colored fun little paper. This is known as scrapbook paper, but there's many different kinds you can use. So this one has a checkered, this one has little dots, stripes, anything you want. They can even be just plain colors, but that makes it a little bit more fun. And I used two different types in this one, and it made it be really, really cute. Okay, and then the last things that you'll need are scissors, and if you're younger, you need help with scissors, make sure you have an adult or someone older that can help you with these, but we'll definitely be needing those. And then you'll also need some glue. So this will be used to attach everything to the puppet clown, and yeah, you'll also need glue. So make sure you have that paper towel down so it doesn't get messy. And once again, the black marker if you don't have the googly eyes. And I think that is all that you'll need. So many of these things you might have on hand at home, or You can use anything that you have at home just so it's easier to do. But this is a super fun craft for this week's theme. So let's get into it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is wash your hands. I washed my hands while I was still inside, and then I brought everything out so my hands are still clean. And then I just want to show you, I already did the paint on this paint stick so that I could have it dry in time so we could do the rest of the craft. But I will show you how to paint it on a smaller popsicle stick. So if you decide you want to use a smaller puppet, a popsicle stick, that's great. So after you've washed your hands, then you will go ahead and pick your paint. So the first paint color that you're going to need is the white color. And as you can see in the example, the clown puppet's head is going to be white. So no matter what color you choose for the lower portion of it, you want the top to be white so it can be his face. So I'm going to do the white first. So I just shake up my white paint. I already put a little bit in there, but you're just going to want to put your paint into whichever holder or wherever you're putting your paint. I just have these little white bowls that I use. And then you're going to take your paintbrush and you're going to paint about halfway up, so or a little bit less than halfway, more of like a quarter, but you're going to paint from there up just the white part, and that's going to be just the clown's head, the clown puppet's head. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint the top, and if you need help with this, make sure you have someone older that can help you, or honestly, if you didn't want the top to be white, you could make the clown super colorful and you could do whichever color you wanted, but I did the example white and it turned out pretty good. So it actually goes by super fast, the painting. So I've painted the top and you just want to make sure it's smooth and you can do a few layers, but it dries pretty quickly, especially when you're outside because it's so hot out during the summertime. So that's where you're going to stop, and you're just going to do that little part white, and then you get to pick your next color that you want to do the body. So for my example, I did the top white and this lower portion orange. And then the other one that I'll be using later, I did the top white and the lower part blue. So whichever color paint you want to use, you're more than welcome to. For this one, I'm going to use purple. I'll use purple for this one. Purple's my favorite color, so I'll do that one for this. So you just put it in your little paint container, and if you want, since this is just a small amount of paint, you can kind of put 2 different colors or 3 different colors if you're super careful in the same. So you can see in mine I have white on one side, purple on the other side, so that they're still separate, but you can use the same container. Then I will take my next brush, so a different brush, and put it in the purple, and then I will do the lower portion. So you're going to want to stop so you can still hold the puppet. So you're going to want to stop right there, but you want to paint from the white part down to where you would hold it, but you still want there to be space so you can hold it and you're not all paint, you don't have all paint on you. So go ahead and paint the lower part purple, or whichever color you choose. You might have to do a few coats with the colored one. And then, once you're done with that, if you think you want to go a little bit higher with it, that's okay too. If you want to go into the white area a little bit, that's okay. So I'm just doing a few coats on it. And then, there we go. And once again, make sure you're using a paper towel underneath so that it doesn't get messy on the table or anything, and it's easy to clean up. So that's what mine looks like. So there's still a little bit of room so I can hold the puppet, but that's going to be the body of the clown. So kind of like this one, except obviously the paint sticks have a lot more space on them to hold. That's going to be the body of the puppet. So this is what it would look like if you were using the popsicle stick one. And I'm just going to put this one, what you would do is put it to set to dry for a little bit. And then you can go ahead and pick out what you want to use to decorate it with. So if we look at my example that I did, I picked out a few different buttons. I made this little collar for the clown puppet out of the fun patterned papers that I showed before. And then I did a little pom-pom for the nose. I did the googly eyes for the eyes. And I did a little pink colored paper for the mouth. And then for the hat, I did another different type of patterned scrapbook paper. And then I did 3 little pom-poms to be his hair and the top of his hat. So that's what I chose. I'm going to change it up for the next one. So I think instead of the collar for the next one, I'm going to be doing a bow tie out of the scrapbook papers. And I will use, maybe this time instead of the buttons, I'm going to use the gems that I have. Or pom-poms, something like that. So you can choose whichever you want. So I would let your popsicle stick or paint stick dry for maybe 5-6 minutes. It doesn't take that long, especially when it's outside, and it's just a little bit of paint, so you don't need to wait too long. But in the meantime, you can go ahead and put your paint brushes aside, and you will be sure to clean those off with water and soap after the activity is done. And you can also put your paint away because we will not be needing that for the rest of the time. So you'll be done with all your paints. And now I'm going to switch over to my pre-painted paint stick. So I painted this one white and blue as the body. And this one is obviously a lot bigger than the popsicle stick, but both will turn into fabulous puppets. So now we're going to get into the decorations. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the mouth out. So for my example, I did a pink little circular circular smile on him. So I'm going to do something similar. I have this pink paper that I'm going to use, and I'm going to carefully take my scissors. Once again, if you need help with this, make sure you have someone older that can help you. And you're just going to cut a little smile, so it'll just be rounded edges, and you can turn the paper very carefully. And there we go. And you might need to cut it off and then form it into the smile. It can be tricky to move the little paper while you're using the scissors, so be sure if you need someone to help you that you just ask. So now I've rounded the edges. Make sure the clown's smile is perfectly round. So this one's a little bit less of a curve than my example one, but will just work just fine. And something that you can add is you can do a little, you can take your black marker and put a line in the curve of the paper to be the smile, like it's kind of like lips. So that's what I've done. And you're just going to take your glue once your smile is all ready, the mouth. You're going to take your glue, and if you need help with this, make sure you just ask someone. And you can either put it onto the smile or onto the place where you're going to glue it on the paint stick. I prefer to paint or put glue onto the actual paint stick. So if you can see, I'll just be doing it, here I'll show you, I'll just be doing it about right there. So not too close to the line between the two colors, because that's where we'll be putting the bow tie or the collar or the button, whichever you choose. So just a little bit more up towards the top. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue right onto the paint stick in a sort of smile fashion, the same sort of rounded curve, and then you'll just put your smile right on there. And there you go. That's the little smile. So then next, we can move to either the nose or the eyes or the collar. Next, I think I'm going to do the nose, and I have in my little tray several different colors of pom-poms, but I am going to use these little red ones, small red ones for the nose. I used this in the last one I made too, and they work better if they're teeny tiny instead of a larger pom-pom. They work a little bit better as the nose, so you can fully see the clown puppet's face. So once again, I like to glue right onto the paint stick. So I'm going to put it right above the mouth that we just glued on, a little circle of glue, and then put my red pom-pom for the nose right on there. And you might want to hold it down for a few seconds just so it really sticks. And there, it might take a little second, but there we have the mouth and the nose right on there. Then the next thing we can do is the eyes. So in my little tray, I have Googly Eyes. So you can get these from the store, or you may even have them at home if you like crafts. But they just look like this. You can shake them around. They're just really cute. You can get them in different sizes if you prefer your clown with big eyes or smaller eyes. So in my example, I did the Googly Eyes. But if you don't have Googly Eyes, something you can do is take your black marker and black marker or pen, and you can make little eyes, either wide or closed, whichever you want. You can make the clown acting super silly, whichever you want. So I'm just going to draw the eyes on, and I'm going to do a circle, and then I'll fill it in. So I will show you step by step. So I'm just going to go above the red pom-pom nose and draw two pretty big circles. So there's the first step. If you can see that, I just did two circles above the red pom-pom nose. And the next thing I'm going to do is do a curve in the bottom half and color that in. So let me show you what I mean. So I've done the curve and I'm just coloring it in. It does not need to be perfect by any means, but this is a great alternative if you do not have the Googly Eyes at home. So this is what it would look like. I just colored in, you can see the little rounded bottom half. And then a fun little thing you can add if you want it to look super fun, you can add little eyelashes if you want. So I'm just adding little eyelashes to my clown. And they're just little lines coming out from the top and the bottom. So if you can see that there, so it's very, very similar to the googly eyes from this one. Some, I mean, some may think that the blue one is even cuter. So if you don't have googly eyes, no need to worry. There you can just draw on your own with a black marker. So I decided to do that for this one. So now we have done the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. So now we can move on to either the hat or the hair or the bow tie or the body. So you can really, there's no real true order to do it in. I think I will do the bow tie first. So in my last one that I did a sort of collar for this clown, and in this puppet I'm going to do a bow tie that is 2 triangles out of one of the papers that I choose. So you can look through your papers if you have fun, colorful ones. I think I'm going to do a polka dotted one since I did stripes in my last one. So I have several different papers that I can use, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do this fun polka dotted one. So what you're going to do in order to cut, if you want to do a bow tie as well, you're going to cut 2 triangles that connect in the middle. And we can add a button later or another pom-pom, something fun right in the middle of the bow tie. But if you've ever seen a bow tie, it comes together in the middle and then there's 2 triangles that come out of it. So I'm going to once again use my scissors. Be careful or have someone older help you if you need. And we'll cut the bow tie. So this will go to the middle. You can be really careful with it. And you might need to try a few times depending on if it fits on the clown or not, or if it's exactly how you want it to be. So I just cut this one out. Let's see if it works. This is what it looks like. It's a little bow tie, so cute. And I just made it out of the polka dot pattern paper. Once again, if you don't have any pattern paper, you can use plain construction paper or anything that's just a plain color. It will work just as great. But if you do, it makes it super fun. This looks like a little tiny bow tie for me. So then you are going to take your clown puppet, and you can see, I can't see while I'm doing it, but you can see that it fits right on him. So, just as you did with the nose and the mouth, you're going to glue the bow tie onto the clown. So, I like to put a little bit of glue right where that line between the 2 colors hits, and we'll glue the bow tie right on. So there we go. And it's okay if the glue comes out from either side. That's perfectly fine. It may get a little messy, but just make sure you have your paper towel underneath. So there we go. And there's his little bow tie. So you want to wait a little bit just for the glue to set. But as you can tell, he might need a little button or a little pom-pom or something that you have to go right in the middle. So I'm going to find either a button or something I can use to go right in the middle. This is my little jar of buttons. I have some here. I could use a red one for the middle, or I could use white, or I have a yellow one. Any color you wish. You can go as colorful or as creative as you want to be. So I'm going to go ahead and do the red one because it matches one of the colors in the bow tie perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. So when you have chosen which button or pom-pom or anything you want to use, just make sure you're gluing right in the center so that it's right where the bow tie would meet, right in the center there. So I'm just going to take my glue and carefully go do a little bit of glue right in the middle. And then you're going to take your button or pom-pom or whichever item you want to use and place it right there in the middle. And you might need to hold it for a few seconds to a minute just to be sure that it sticks right into the glue and it will be secure for all of your puppet play time. So just so you can see, I didn't use on the example a button because I did a collar, a rounded collar. But for this one, it works perfectly with the bow tie to have a little button. So you're just going to wait until the glue sets and you can hold it down, push it down, just to make sure it's really set. And then there we go. So now the button is right in the center of the bow tie and your clown is looking super cute. So the next thing we want to do is either the hat and the hair or the body. So once again, you can choose however order you want to. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the hat next. So if you look at my other example, I decided to do a triangular hat with a pom-pom on top. So that's how I did my first little clown puppet. I think for my second clown puppet, I'm going to do a top hat type style with the fun little papers I have. So I'm going to choose another paper, pattern paper that I have, and I'll make more of a square top hat. If you've ever seen a clown, sometimes they wear triangular hats, sometimes they wear, sometimes they have top hats. It all depends. So I'm going to use this checkered blue and white paper to match the blue on the body. So if you want to make some of the papers match the color, perfectly fine, whichever you want. You can make it as colorful or as in the same color scheme as you want. So once again, we're going to take our scissors and be very careful or have an adult to help, but you're going to cut a little top hat out of the paper. So sometimes you may need to cut it a few different times, or you may need to trim it down when you're all done. So for example, I just cut this little top hat out, but I think that's going to be a little bit too big for him. So I'm going to make sure to cut this little part off to make it a little bit smaller for my clown puppet. So just be careful when you're using the scissors because these are tiny little pieces that we're cutting out. So you want to make sure you're super safe. You would not want to get hurt during making your clown so fun. So I'm just going to cut a little bit more, trim him down, and there we have a little top hat for him. So I'm going to put this, glue it right on top. I might trim it down a teeny bit more just because I can tell it might be a little bit too big. And feel free to name your clown if you would wish. So it's going to go right there. And once again, just like the nose and the mouth and the bow tie and the button, we are going to take our glue and glue it right on top. So I just put the glue right on top of his head, just a little bit so that the top hat will stay. And then I put my top hat and hold down, just like the button. You want to make sure it's super secure. So you want to hold, and keep holding until you feel that it is fully secure. And there you go. So there is the top hat on my clown. So if you chose to do the triangular hat, that's perfectly fine. You can choose whichever hat you wish, or you could make it rounded or do pom-poms all over. But this is what the hat would look like if you did a top hat. So we're almost done. The last part we have to do is the body. And this is the super fun part. You can choose to do buttons, or you could choose pom-poms again, or I have these gems. If you have stickers, anything you want, we're going to put in the body. So let me show you my other one that I made. I did 3 buttons, and those matched pretty well. I think this time I'm going to use my gems that I have, because these seem super fun to use, and they will match perfectly with my little blue theme I have going on. And I already used a button for the bow tie, so I'm going to use the gems this time. So luckily these are stickers, so they won't need glue this time. So if you have stickers, you won't need the glue, but I'm going to go ahead and use the square gems. I might do 3 different colors. So I'm going to first do the blue one on top, stick that down, and then I will do the yellow, just to make it super fun and colorful. So this is what it's looking like so far with the gems. And then I can do either the blue again or the pink. I'm going to go ahead and do the pink. So now I've done my sticker gems on here. Once again, you can use any stickers or anything you have on hand. But that is how the clown looks. So this clown has the differences between these two that I did was this one has the top hat, this one has the triangular pom-pom hat, this one has the bow tie with the button, and this one has the collar. And then the rest are just different colors, different buttons, different stickers. So this is what the final product buttons will look, or the final clown puppets will look like. And once again, if you want them to be smaller puppets, you can go ahead and use popsicle sticks like we painted before. But here is the final product. So I hope you guys enjoyed and made some fun little clown puppets with your paint sticks. And thanks for joining me today for Outdoor Art. And thanks for coming to get your play online. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.